The recording has started again. We're good. Okay. So we have a motion that we would like to make after coming out of the executive session.
I move that the East Windsor Board of Education deny the reasons presented on 9/24/2025 and authorize the chair to work with board counsel to draft an appropriate written decision consistent with the board's deliberation on this matter.
All right, Fran has made the motion. Is there a second? Betsy has seconded the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Do we need to pass these? I know it's back. If you could pass the packet back that was passed. This is for Jeff.
This is for this.
And then these are the packets.
Thank you.
Then these should just be shredded.
Thank you. That concludes.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have our regular meeting minutes from September 10th. Thank you, guys.
Good night, everyone. I would make a motion to accept the September 10th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
All right, we have a motion made by Courtney and seconded by Fran. Any further discussion or edits to the minutes? That's page 1 of the page 1, 2, and 3 of the packet. All right, no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Are you guys both good with the minutes?
Yep, I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. Motion passes. Any opposed? I'll just say, but I think we all said yes. We're good. All right, and next on the agenda, we have public participation. I don't believe we have any members of the public in attendance, so should be all set there. And next, we have our student representation report. Page 4, I believe, in the pack.
So for Broadwick Elementary School, the first month of school is off to a great start. Broadwick Elementary School students who participated in the summer reading challenge had their picture taken with Biscuit, and one student from each grade won a Barnes & Noble gift card. The pictures are hanging on the bulletin board. Students are also completing their beginning of year academic screenings to help guide instruction and support learning goals. In addition, mileage club days have been set for the school year with the first event held on September 17th. Broadwick Elementary School is excited for a year filled with learning, engagement, and community building opportunities for our students. With middle school, we're excited to share that 29 students have made the East Windsor Middle School cross-country team and are gearing up for their first meet on September 25th. Get those cowbells ready. East Windsor Middle School was buzzing during open house with more than 160 students and their families in attendance. Students had fun completing a grade level scavenger hunt, and the Girl Scouts hosted some fantastic STEM activities in the auditorium. Students got to meet their teachers and received a fresh baked cookie on their way out. Meanwhile, in 8th grade, students are diving into hands-on learning by designing and launching water-powered rockets. For the East Windsor High School, the East Windsor High School marching band was hard at work over the summer at their annual band camp, preparing for their parade season this fall. From learning parade formations to polishing up their sound, our students have shown incredible energy, focus, and school spirit. These musicians have been putting in hours of dedication, teamwork, and music making to get ready for the season ahead. In true Panther fashion, they showed what it means to be self-advocates, responsible citizens, and lifelong learners. The Panther Band performs at the Four-Town Fair and at the Big E Fair. Once you see the marching band perform, you'll know they do not hide their Panther pride.
Thank you very much. All right, next on the agenda, we have our listing of upcoming meetings and events. This includes our subcommittees, our next regular board meeting, some of the teacher negotiation dates that have been set up. PTO meeting in October. Was there anything you wanted to point out in particular, Patrick?
Yes, for October 22nd, I believe, the only board member that does have a conflict is can't be in two places at once as Betsy.
Yeah. Right.
But I think we discussed this as far as the alternate attending the curriculum council. I thought that was Heather. Is it Heather?
She did so.
Yeah, and I believe, I know she's not here today, but maybe just a reminder
Okay.
to Heather that she does, her attendance is needed at the curriculum council. But from what I recall, we had previous conversations on that.
Okay, I can remind her.
I'm just not going to be at the October 8th meeting. Or do a board meeting? Yes.
Okay. And then, haunted highway near the end of October and then more teacher negotiation dates. We do not have our second, October meeting for regular Board of Ed, right?
Right,
We had
and,
handled that too.
I apologize, it's my oversight, but on October 1st, we will have ad hoc at town hall at 6 p.m. And we did work to create the agenda, myself, Denise, CSG, and Jason.
All right, and you said is that 6 p.m. at town? hall?
Yes, yep, October 1st. I apologize for that.
All right, did anybody else have any questions or anything else to add for that date?
Why don't we have a second October meeting?
And to get in for meetings for teacher negotiations,
I saw that, yeah, I was looking at my calendar. I said, I thought we had a Board of Ed meeting that night, but I had teacher negotiation.
yeah, so in order to like squeeze a maneuver and between all the subcommittees, we gave up a board meeting.
Works for me. I'm tired of just looking at those.
All right.
I'm good. I thought I'd done something like that.
Next on the agenda, we have the summer enrichment report on page 5.
Yeah, and we have Cheryl here to present on it.
So I'm really excited to report out on a successful summer enrichment program for the second year in a row. We kicked it off at the beginning of July this year with maybe go to the next slide. We raised our grant amount this year to $210,000, which was an increase from our last programming, which we used to really add to the enrichment program. And you'll see that we really changed up the Lego programming, and we also added some further presentation activities for them. We were able to have 96 students participating, which was an increase from the previous year. And we did have 82% attendance, which was slightly up from last year too. So we did participate throughout the summer, running into the second week of August. For our staffing, we had a lot of enthusiasm after the first year from our staff, and from the 8 teachers who participated this year, 6 of them were returning from last year. So we had a lot of institutional knowledge carrying forth from last year. And as well, we had 2 paras return from the previous year. This year we added Pete Richard, who was our site director. So it was really nice to have him as a complement to the program. And nursing staff, we were joined by our new nurse leader, Paula, and Kirsten Walker. This program is fully in alignment with the strategic plan. Throughout the summer, the kids were working on STEM, they were working with SEL, they were increasing their literacy skills. They were instructed by certified teachers in the classroom. They were engaged in SEL, really supporting portion of the graduate skills to be able to practice critical thinking, problem solving, interpersonal relationships, curiosity, all those things that really we highlight, as well as goal 2, which was really having opportunities to create positive connections with family and the community, because as we know, this was a hybrid program where students came to Broadbrook Elementary School in the morning and they would spend the afternoon with the summer enrichment program, the town side, the Parks and Rec camp. So it was really an opportunity to be able to connect with families as well. the next one. So we used this year a different Lego program to really support our portrait of the graduate work. Last year, we used a program and a curriculum from Lego, and we added a coding program this year. So we purchased the coding program, and students used their computers from school during the summer, and they really did learn how to use those computers and Legos in conjunction with each other. When staff, if they needed extra activities, we did have supplemental builds that the kids could participate in that were through Tufts. So we called in a lot of different curriculum materials to be able to supplement our program. They were engaged in literacy work to really bridge from their previous grade into the next grade using the SAVA Summer Impact Program, and continuing through with social emotional learning through the responsive classroom approach that they are familiar with from their time at Broadbrook Elementary School. So lots of new experiences again this year. Lots of kids appreciated the swimming lessons. Lots of kids appreciated the opportunity to learn how to code, use their computers. They got to visit a bunch of different fun parks that they may not have experienced before. And we had some students who were new open choice students who were able to join us for kindergarten before they started school here. So some of our brand new enrollees who started at school this fall actually got a taste of Broadbrook Elementary School during the summer, which was a real benefit. So it was really, really great having. We have a little video of some of the highlights.
Very cool.
Someone could get their little snag booth. That was my actual favorite build besides all of them.
Favorite
There's a lot of Daniels. And there's a
The theme was the carnival. So there was Steam Park was the theme. So they had all kinds of builds that they did that were carnival themed. So basically they put the gears in, the servos and sensors and things like that, and the computer was synced up to their Lego like the Lego hub, and they could make the computer talk to the Legos. So that was pretty cool.
I actually just so happened while the video was there, it was during my walkthrough. So they actually had it synced. So it happened like synchronous, like so one would start, then the other one would click on. So they actually had it timed. You don't really see it in the video, but one would start and then it would trigger the next one in the routine. So
And those kids in that picture, that video, those were rising third graders. So they had just finished second grade. So they're pretty little. And we actually had a different program. So I guess the next slide we can go to. I really like this parent comment that the parent appreciated that their child didn't lose their learning over the summer. And they said they're ready for fourth grade. So it was really a bonus. We collected student feedback. It's always good to get feedback from your stakeholders, including your littles. And I love that they said they like their math, they like morning meeting. Of course, they loved their Legos, and they loved going to the carousel. So all the things I could have predicted that they would have liked those things.
What was this? What's the last one? My favorite memory of camp has been
Legos.
Oh, Legos.
Legos.
I was looking at that as a 9. I got it.
The nineties.
Yeah. Yeah, they liked the Legos, and I like that they liked their morning meeting. The first kid liked math and morning meeting. But parents did say that they're happy that their kids didn't lose learning and they're ready to go to school in the summer, in the fall. So one new thing we added this year, and this was based on feedback from our Broadbrook Safe School Climate Committee. And it was also based on feedback from last year, is that kids coming out of COVID haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to be in a big group together and learn how to be audience members. So we developed some SEL lessons on how to be a good audience member and how to participate in a group and how to be respectful. So again, pulling in portrait of the graduate skills. And so the first Friday of every 2-week session, we had a special presentation. So the first session, we had Mad Science come in. Second session, we had Mystic Aquarium come up and they did a presentation about penguins. They didn't bring any penguins though, unfortunately. And then the third session, Connecticut Science Center came up and did a program about suds, the science of suds. So you can see this kid is actually in a bubble, which is pretty cool. And so we practiced our audience skills and it really did pay off. You could see that the kids were asking questions, they were volunteering, raising their hands, they were super excited. And that was really from feedback from teachers that the kids need opportunities to practice those skills. So that was really a fun treat. And of course, we had our attendance incentives that we carried on from last year. First year, we just went to Sunny's place, but this year we decided to mix it up and do a few different things. So the first session, we went to Nomads in South Windsor. Just a ton of fun. Kids had a good time riding on bumper cars and doing arcade games and candlepin bowling. The second week, we actually brought a bunch of inflatables and put them in the back of Broadbrook, and we had our own carnival. So we set up huge, like 70-foot long inflatables, and we had a magic show after that. And then the third week, we went to Sunny's place and we did all the fun things. So it was kind of nice to kind of different activities every 2 weeks. That's all I have to share. But it was really good.
That's great. You know, I really appreciate the fact that you're giving kids swimming lessons, especially choice kids. Choice kids a lot of times don't have the opportunities for swimming lessons. And I just think it's an important piece of what kids should have. So
We had a couple of families who were a lot of families who were repeat participants. We had some open choice families who were repeat participants. We had some new families this year that were going from 3rd to 4th grade. So it's nice.
Yeah, that's great. Looks like kids had a lot of fun.
It was awesome. Really fun.
Brandon,
Understand.
question.
Thank you.
That just remind me, will we still offer mad science as like an extracurricular here?
I believe, so it was offered through Parks and Rec.
Mhm.
I understand as they continue to offer it. I believe this year, I believe it's one of the programs they're offering, at the, new community center.
Oh, but it's not an after school program here.
Even when it wasn't run by us. It was
Yeah, it
run.
was a paid.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was run through, it's always been run through Parks and Rec.
I already have ideas for programs for next year.
I mean, I know funding is always up in the air these days, but are we still planning with the intention that we're going to get the same level of funding or hopefully even more funding for next summer?
I mean, all we know is, Daryl and I, we're part of a, I think it was just me, but then I shared it with you. We were informed that, it will be available next year. Now, they didn't state what the funding level was, but of course, our intent will be, to apply, for it. And I'd like to believe based on the success, and the percentage and number of students that we have, from, the open choice program, that will continue to be, competitive. Certainly, like kudos to Daryl with this grant writing, along with the support from Cheryl.
And Noreen or Carrie, did you have a question? I thought I heard Noreen.
I did. I know it came out late this year due to the funding issue. Did we have anybody who was unable to get in? Did we have a wait list at all?
Are you speaking at all or so, and
At
Daryl could
all.
speak to this more, but, everyone got into some component. Now, there may have been some students that wanted 6 weeks and they got 4 weeks or 4 and they got 2. Daryl and Cheryl, could speak to that more, but everyone that wanted to get in, got in.
Okay.
Now, they might not have gotten in as often as they wanted, but, they got some component, they got a minimum of 2 weeks.
Okay. I just observation. Evelyn went to this year. She went to one session. The year before she went to more of them. It's a great program. It's a phenomenal program, and I'm very much in support, even if we have to fund some of it to try to keep this program going for as many kids as we can possibly get in. The staff is wonderful, both at the school level and at the Park and Rec level. It's a really great program, and it really does help them to stay engaged. Evelyn went to the 3rd session this year, which was closer to the beginning of school, and it kind of got her back into the realm of being in school and following the rules and doing all of that. She had an absolutely wonderful time. Her only complaint about it was at one point The teachers are really good about letting them decide as a class what they want to do at some particular free choice time or something. And she was disappointed. She was the only one who voted for math. Everyone else voted for Legos. But, and what she was bringing home, and I think Cheryl, you touched on it, is like the second to third grade level. She was actually bringing home a lot of higher level math papers, which I thought was awesome. So it's a really, really good program. And for me personally, the more kids we can get into something like this in the summer, it just serves them and the families so well. Thank you for your hard work.
My pleasure. I have one question. Patrick, have we heard anything about the perhaps choice year-round program for after school? Did we hear anything about
We're
that?
still doing the application. The application is still open.
Oh, okay.
I did submit there, so there's two separate ones. There's one that we didn't, that had to do with, it's one that has come out in the past, but the commitment in hours. Like we've had this conversation over several years, the commitment in hours that it requires is not doable for us. Every time it's come out, we've analyzed it. Then there's a second one that is, it was called CREC in Aid grant that we submitted on Friday, this past Friday.
And that's the one where it's only open to districts that participate in open choice. So we would then anticipate based on the success of this program, along with again, our percentage and total numbers that we would be competitive for our grant application.
Good. And we should hear about that, right? So we just,
We'd hope so,
yeah, we should be good. Good job.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, next on the agenda, we have our personnel report on page 10 with some appointments and transfers, resignations, retirement and stipends. And then, does anybody have any questions about any of those?
Where is the detention, Saturday detention? We not do it during the week anymore?
It's part of our high school, essentially vape protocol. To discourage students from vaping, there's educational component, but there's also a Saturday detention component at the high school level. So probably we don't have to institute it very often, but when we do, we like to have the personnel available to run and facilitate it.
Okay.
I didn't even see that one. Good.
The Broadbrook Elementary School tutor that is now the FRC teacher,
Yes.
do we have somebody effectively taking tutors?
The job's posted to my knowledge. I don't believe it's been filled yet, but I know that we are essentially pulling other personnel to cover it because we are prioritizing intervention. So it may be like a classroom pair or we are prioritizing that though.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's busy.
All right. Next, we have the Board of Ed CIP submission. So this was the list that the facilities
Correct. So
committee had gone over, but then this was what was presented to
The capital improvement.
the capital improvement.
Yeah,
committee.
so,
So it's on page 12.
yeah, so the
packet.
Yeah, so the board, facility subcommittee met on the 10th, with Kyle, and myself. From the 10th, we prioritized, Kyle did a really nice job bringing in a initial proposal. There's very good feedback by that subcommittee. So that was taken into account. Those adjustments, were made. And then it was due to the town on the 12th, which we submitted to the town on the 12th. So what you have in front of you is what was submitted. And then we're scheduled to present to the town civic committee on the 9th. I haven't gotten a date, location or time. But we did get our date. So it is, October 9th. And as you can see, similar to, the last year, we prioritized on our most immediate needs. Because of some of the uncertainty where we are in, our school renovation projects, not wanting to throw, wanting to be fiscally responsible, we really, again, prioritize on the things, that like are most time sensitive.
And I think we did mention some of it at the 10th meeting too. Let me find out.
Mention something what?
At the Board of Ed meeting after the facilities meeting, I think.
We probably gave that, I bet you, now they say that, I think Denise gave a liaison report
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
point.
So I think board members have seen this
Yeah.
as far as the.
If they have any questions though regarding the projects, let us know.
Yeah.
Cal has done a great job sort of renovating the whole capital improvement requests that we have from recycled a lot. We had a lot of recycled projects that the quotes for them were out of date and stuff, and he's gotten good current information and really looked hard at the projects that we've gotten that we put forward.
So I have a question. So like for the roofs, if we were to start renovating the schools before that 5-year time frame, what happens with the money that's allocated for like the last 2 years, for example?
SIP is only 1 year, so we're only asking for the,
Okay.
1 year.
And
So,
it's
but-
just
The
repairs.
It's just so that they know that we're
Correct.
anticipating making these requests for
Every
the
year.
coming years.
Right.
Can I ask a question on the Chromebooks?
Yes,
Is this the first time we're going to CIP for the computers? Do we normally pay for them in our budget?
we do. I will say over the last, since I've been superintendent, we reallocated, ESSER funds and we covered it, out of grants. I do know the prior administration did do at one point a mass purchase of like through SIP or added appropriate.
We got an added appropriation for the computers
Through
at
the
one
Board of
point.
Finance.
Alright, so if
but-
we get this through CIP, that means we're not getting them also in our budget. We're
Correct.
going to shift it to there. Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Thank you.
We're not alone in doing that. There are other districts that do that. Because it is a major purchase.
It makes sense. It is capital.
I had a question at that meeting, regarding the soccer field. And
Yes.
the grading of that. Has anybody taken a look at that to see if it's?
They did, and they said it was not concerned. So I know you had indicated, I think it was your son that reported. And
It wasn't just my son, it was a whole bunch of people on the team.
yeah, so, but Dean checked with the coach.
Okay,
So
sorry, well, I brought it up.
All right.
Are we talking about the new soccer field, like the track area?
Yeah,
yeah, it's as far as Fran had reported that students were saying that I don't want to speak, but
it was, I had heard from several soccer players that the field was rutted, so that if you were running and playing on it, it was a bit lumpy and uneven, and I guess I don't know whether the edge. Did we take care of the edge at the side of where the track meets the field?
during the summer, we did overseed. It
Okay.
was overseeded when it was first replaced, but really didn't take. So over the summer, Kyle had it seeded again.
Okay,
During that, that wasn't, it was around the field. It wasn't the actual like playing
yeah,
field, if that makes sense.
yeah, well, I mean, there are times when they run off the field. Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have liaison and subcommittee reports.
Today we had our curriculum council subcommittee. We began by discussing some new priorities and goals for the year, and something we are going to do is do a little bit more in-depth conversations at our meetings. And that way we can be presenting newer information at our Board of Education meetings and being able to present just different things instead of spending as much time going over, say, the iReady results or stuff that we are all familiar with already as a group. We also looked at the fluid document, the curriculum revision cycle, and different classes and subjects that are being looked at now. And then we also discussed problem of practice and theory of action for this year, which to me was a pretty eye-opening conversation. Just kind of looking back at a time, like I believe it was 2018 or 19, where we didn't really have our data, but we knew that we were, one of the very bottom schools in the Alliance District, to today, where we can clearly see that we have like a gap in equity with certain populations of our students, and just how, one, shocking it is, but also how great to have the information now so that we can really spend time with our MTSS to help those students. Cool. Oh, not always the best at explaining.
That was pretty
No,
good.
that was
Okay.
good. That was good. Yeah, so it was a really, really informative meeting. It was good. Are there other liaison or subcommittee?
I went to, so I went to the CREC advisory council meeting on the 17th, and it was really the biggest news is that CREC has a new executive director starting in February. So Desi Nesbitt will be the new executive director of CREC, and he's making visits to all the superintendents. And apparently, I didn't know this, but he talked with Patrick about some of the curriculum needs. So I think it'll be important, and yeah, it's always interesting. It's interesting to be there on two levels.
Yeah, no, he'll be a real positive influence. We have a good relationship with him because he was previously the assistant superintendent of Bloomfield, and we were paired up with Bloomfield for the science of reading masterclass that we did.
That's
So between our district leadership, we found them a very strong collaborative partner under his leadership. So we actually had an opportunity to have a rapport that we can continue to.
Yeah, I think he'll be really added value to CREC in terms of, just because of his experience. He was a classroom teacher. He was a principal. He's worked in, Bloomfield. He's worked in Hartford. He worked for the State Department of Education in the turnaround office. So he has a lot of that experience. I especially like the fact that he does know what happens in a classroom and what the implications of as far as policy and professional development. So I think he'll be added value.
Maureen, did you have any liaison or subcommittee reports that you wanted to update?
PTO is their first fundraiser has started. They are selling grandma's pies again this year, just in time for Thanksgiving. Was a big hit last year. They was quite profitable for them. And you can go onto their Facebook page, I believe, and get a Google link if anybody's interested in purchasing pies.
I purchased 2 or 3 last year. They were good. I can confirm.
Yeah, grandma's
Carrie,
makes a really good pie.
Carrie, did you have anything in terms of liaison or subcommittee updates?
Nope.
Anybody else? Next on the agenda is a second public participation. Again, I think we're in the clear on public participation. Then miscellaneous, I think you said, Patrick, that you might have an update.
I do. So yesterday at open house, a gentleman had approached Mrs. Fox regarding just making a donation, wanting to support the school. She had a very brief encounter, had encouraged to check in with that grade level to see like their needs. And he proceeded to hand her a check and kind of went about his way. The check was in the amount of $2,000. So under the board policy, we can accept it, which I have. I mean, there was no criteria set around it, but per policy, I'm obligated to notify you that the donation was made. Certainly, we will submit a letter of gratitude. Mrs. Fox and I have also discussed how we can also ensure that obviously a part of that donation is spent on that child's grade level too. But based on the way it was donated, we're thinking that person prefers to be anonymous at this time, but certainly wanted to share and certainly are grateful for that donation yesterday. In addition, I did get a late email today as far as a donation of library books for the high school. What I'll do is we have the list of books. I'll include that in correspondence for the next board meeting. As I stated, it came late this afternoon, but so we'll also include positive as far as the community and families as far as giving back and supporting our schools.
Did other people have miscellaneous items that they wanted to add? I know the band was at the Big E
Monday.
Monday,
Yep.
right? Yeah. no.
I saw the videos. I would, I mean, they've been playing great. Daryl and I actually were just talking about how great they sound. But, from what when I saw on video, it looks like it was very successful.
Very good.
We don't go in Connecticut anymore?
Not this year, I guess.
I don't know how it gets arranged, honestly.
Because I wondered that too. I know.
I know, we always used to.
They get to go, they have a great time, they sound awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure the students don't know what day it is.
I couldn't tell you which day is like which, so I mean, you could have told me Monday was Connecticut Day. You could tell me it was Maine Day, Matt. I have no idea.
Does anybody else have any miscellaneous items or things they wanna bring up? Anybody?
I have a question.
Sure.
So for the Chromebook replacements, is that replacing the Chromebooks we already have, or is that like getting?
So it's a cycle for certain grade levels, right, Patrick? Do you
Yeah,
have-
so so we replace 3 grade levels every single year, and then those carry on with the students for 4 years. So each Chromebook has a lifeline of 4 years. Good question.
All right, and then we have a couple items in correspondence. I think the board had asked to do Teacher of the Year and Parent Educator of the Year letters, congratulating those people from the board. So I will, Jessica, do you need me to sign something tonight? I know weren't able to get to that. ahead of time,
Yes.
so I can sign those. And then there was also a letter about a clarification on the open choice reimbursement. So did you want to speak to that?
I mean, it's there for the board. I will tell you it is an agenda item as part of the ad hoc. I think CSG could do a much better job of describing and interpreting those responses than I can. So I think it just would be best to save that for Wednesday's meeting. Overall, Jim Giuliano, it was my perception, Denise, correct me, that he thought it was more positive.
Yes.
As far as, and certainly he can give a better interpretation of those responses than I can.
So stay tuned on October 1st.
When I read the letter,
Mhm.
it seems positive, but quite evasive. Like they don't want to commit. That's not up to us. You got to go talk to the other people. But
Yeah. Yeah, we're not as concerned about, we were more concerned about, when the reimbursement is provided, how the calculation, is done. I know they referred to us to, the CSDE. That was less of a concern because our numbers have been pretty consistent. So I mean, we will need to get clarification because based on the responses, it does say you have to look at the calculation for the students in the building, and that can fluctuate. So we know we're somewhere between 7% and 8%. So that's positive, but how, are we more heavy at the elementary school versus the secondary schools or vice versa? That could differ based, each year based on, students moving from fourth grade to fifth grade and some of those transition years. So we will have to get some, clarification on that. But that was less of a concern just because overall our numbers have been pretty consistent.
So I translated their evasiveness to being more, people haven't asked about it before. And I think they're building it as they go. I don't think they really have the answers that much. And they may send us to one and then back to another or something, but I didn't take it as a negative at all. I think it's and that's to Patrick's credit to keep on plugging away at it. It just didn't seem like it was something we were going to get an answer on, so. It's excellent.
Yes, we appreciate the persistence.
Yeah.
All right, and next on the agenda, we do have need for a second executive session.
The only one I saw.
So,
I just gotta see it on the agenda.
yeah,
To go into executive session at 8:23.
great. Motion made by Gabby and seconded by Denise. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, so we'll go into executive session at 8:23. So we need to have the recording stopped by